Okay, that is my bad. What is up, everybody? I am Sensei Finito. Welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture. And today we are going to be doing an MCU Explain, talking about timelines, universes, dimensions, realms, all of that fun goodness that the MCU has given us as of late. Um, with the introduction of shows like Loki, and then of course Spider-Man: No Way Home and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, we have basically entered a whole new realm of the MCU to where it could be really confusing. You know what I mean? We see unpopular fan in here. What's up with it? What's up with it? How you doing? We see my bro Dwight. Ooh, yes, sir. So let's talk. We're going to be talking about basically, like I said, timelines, universes, dimensions, and all that good stuff explained, because I know things can be very confusing. And I know a lot of people are also talking about how phase 4 is falling off. So I thought we could talk about, a couple of things revolving around that as well. And basically just kind of get a better understanding of how everything is working right now in the MCU and where we're going with everything that's kind of been set up as of late. So, with all that being said, if you haven't already, make sure you guys follow us on social media at Marvel Bros 23. No, not 23, just at Marvel Bros, spelled just like this, in order to stay up to date with all the latest news, all of the content that we're going to be pumping out these next couple of days, and especially because we're going to be going live every day for San Diego Comic Con, and especially for that Marvel panel. We're going to be talking about it, discussing it, covering it. We're going to be getting in the nitty gritty with not with the titty committee necessarily, but we are going to be getting into the nitty gritty. Let me see. I think it's exclamation point follow. I think that's how you get the links for that. And then exclamation. I don't even know what the other one is. I can't think of what the other command is. But if you do wish to, you can also check out our website at www.marvelbros.com to stay up to date with all the stuff we're talking about here, as well as our podcast and all of that goody goodness. And of course, join the Discord, where we are always talking about the stuff that's going on. That's actually where I got the idea for this video, was actually from the Discord. We were having a very lengthy discussion. It was me and one of our Brovengers, and he was talking about how confused he was about everything. And we're actually going to mention his question that he had, and the response that I gave to him as well, so we can kind of get a better understanding of really what's going on here. Because I feel like Demonic's question, shout out to Demonic for this question, I feel like Demonic's uh, basically confusion about what's going on with the MCU, it's not just him. You feel me? I'm pretty sure a lot of people kind of feel the way that Demonic is feeling right now, as far as what the hell is going on, where are we going in phase 4, and all of that goodness. You know what I mean? Unpopular says, my favorite X-Men timeline is the 90s cartoon. Bro, I couldn't agree more. And that's why I'm super happy that we're going to be getting that at San Diego Comic Con coming up. I think Marvel's is Saturday, and that's one of the things that they're going to be talking about. They're talking about Spider-Man, freshman year, Marvel Zombies, and the X-Men 90s cartoon, which is taking place and continuing the story from the original cartoon, which I am super hyped for, and I hope all you guys are hyped for, because if that is the case, then they might be trying to do something where they're going to try to tie in that MCU or that X-Men into either where we are now within the MCU, or it's going to be an alternate dimension that we may have seen. Not saying for surely that it would be Professor X from uh, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but I mean, he did have like the same wheelchair, and he also had the X-Men 90s music come behind him. But as we saw in Miss Marvel, the 90s X-Men music is kind of the new hue for X-Men, basically. So anytime we see an X-Men, anytime we see some mutant stuff going on, I think it's going to be mutant, not necessarily X-Men, but for sure mutant. It's going to play off. We're going to hear that we're going to hear that beautiful intro song, sound, whatever you want to call it, sound bite. um Oh, Michael Jimenez, what's up with it, bro? How are you doing? Mama said, "How? Hey, man, how are you doing today?" I'm doing good, bro. I just got out of a nice little course, and now I'm here doing Marvel Bros with you and all of you lovely people. And yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about what we have to talk about today, and I'm excited to answer any questions that might arise. And of course, if you feel like what I'm saying doesn't really align with something, or if you think I missed something, you can always drop it in the chat. Just make sure you're respectable, and all of us and the mods and stuff that are here will be on it. We appreciate all of the love. Unpopular fan says Marvel is Saturday, but the animation Marvel is Friday. There we go. Thank you very much, Unpopular. See, just like that. See, just like that. If I just misspeak on something, because I do have a lot of things in this brain of mine. So if I do speak incorrectly about something, just give me a little nudge like my man Unpopular did, and I will appreciate you, shout you out, and give you your comeuppance. Michael Jimenez says, I'm keeping expectation down for phase 5 and 6. 4 is an average for me. I feel you, bro. I could see why you would feel that, and I could see why a lot of other people are gonna feel like that as well. And that phase 4 discussion we'll talk about at the end after we're done talking about the timelines, universes, and dimensions, and kind of giving a little breakdown, answering some questions that you guys might have when it comes to all that stuff as well. But yeah, we are definitely going to talk about phase 4 and how I guess you could say it's been perceived as mid, but I don't believe it's mid. I'm not one of the mid believers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to kind of explain to you guys why I feel that way. Talk about a few articles and things that I've seen here and there that kind of back up the thoughts that I've been having, like since kind of the beginning of phase 4, because they've all every movie has been wild, and it seems like it doesn't connect, but we're at this point where you kind of have to zoom out. You know what I mean? And once you zoom out, then you can see all the good connective tissue that there is, and it kind of, you know, you know what I'm saying. Team Samurai, what's up with the bro? Welcome back to the chat, man. I love you, man. How you doing today, Samurai? I hope you're having a good one. Dwight says that X-Men '90s cartoon timeline is lit. I like the latest one in the comics too. It was lit. Oh yeah, X-Men. I won't say all of the X-Men stuff, but a high majority of X-Men stuff is amazing, and that's why it really sucked when I can't think of the guy's name, but when he started running Marvel, he basically was like, "Yo, since Fox has X-Men, we're not going to make any X-Men comics or basically do any X-Men content at all." And I was like, okay, that's kind of lame." So we did lose out on kind of years of X-Men content, and that's why I hope all of the real X-Men fans that are out there are happy that we're going to be getting a lot of it back soon. In whatever way that Kevin Feige and Marvel deem worthy, I guess you could say. Dwight says my expectations are up for 5 and 6. It got to get better. Yeah, I agree. I'll jump into the rest of these comments after I just talk about a little bit of I'm going to read the question that I got in the Discord, read my answer, and then we'll kind of go in a little bit more from there. And you guys just, I guess you can say, implement when you need to, or, you know, so, Demonic says when Endgame dropped the context of time travel, it was based on the Back to the Future explained by the Hulk. You mess with the past, you affect the future, but that utterly collapsed once the Ancient One explained the timeline again, making it turn into a tree that continues and breaks off if something is interrupted, and also meaning it's not even their past, it's another universe's past, or which begs the question, how did Captain America even get to have another life and appear in the universe as an old man? Demonic continues to say that utterly breaks the concept of which the Ancient One explained the timeline. Then we get Loki explaining somewhat like the Ancient One did, but leaves the question: how did the TVA allow the Avengers to tamper with the timelines, causing pathways? How did they allow Captain America to stay in the past, which utterly breaks the TVA's rules? Then we get Doctor Strange, which makes the concept of multiverses seem as though it can be created just by dreaming of another universe, which the multiverse seems to have aspects of the timeline. There is no such thing as a multiverse if time only is held in one path, meaning all the universes are in the Loki concept of universes breaking off from their timeline, all in the MCU. Writers couldn't communicate with each other to solve this dang issue. So we have this problem. So that's what Demonic says initially, right? Which I think he does bring up a lot of questions and concerns that I feel like a lot of the fans have right now. What's going on, and it almost seems like in every single show and movie that we've got, they've kind of explained um a different version of the same thing. You know what I mean? And sometimes that can be confusing, especially when they're not like abruptly saying, oh no, this means this and this means this. They give us a little bit of connective tissue here and there, but for the grand scheme of things, they don't want to spoil anything for us, right? They don't want to spoil anything for the fans. So they're like, okay, so how do we get this? How do we let them know the least that we can let all of these writers and everyone know by still sticking to the cohesive story? And I think they've done that. I wouldn't say they've done a great job by any means, but I will say that they've done a damn good job at trying to handle all this time travel stuff. I mean, that's why Rick and Morty doesn't do time travel, right? Because it gets too confused and complicated. So this is my response to this. And you guys continue to let me know in the comment section how you feel about what Demonic brought up, if you feel the same way that he does. And then let's get into the answer. This is my answer, by the way. So I said, okay, I see what you're saying, but you have to remember that Hulk didn't know how time travel worked. He just theorized it. He just theorized that it would be like Back to the Future. The Ancient One didn't retcon, she just clarified. The Ancient One explained that if the Infinity Stone was taken from that timeline, it would cause an alternate timeline where that Infinity Stone disappears from the universe, which causes a branch timeline. But you have to remember this term of branch timelines, okay? Now, next, when it comes to the TVA, their entire creation was based off of a lie. They pruned all timelines that He Who Remains wanted pruned, and he did this because every other path outside of the one that he made led to Kang the Conqueror being created and starting a multiversal war, which is like the big thing. So the entire point of the TVA was to stop branching timelines. Don't let the name confuse you, and don't let the time travel confuse you, because more than anything, the TV was created to stop the multiverse from being created, because with the multiverse comes Kang. And that's why I really wanted to talk about timelines, multiverses, universes, dimensions, and all of that stuff because of this right here, because of what I just said. Okay. The snap, what Cap did, and everything in between was allowed by He Who Remains because he knew the path led to Loki and Sylvie being with him. Kevin Feige also came out and confirmed that Doctor Strange's spell in No Way Home failed because of what Sylvie and Loki did. The multiverse that we see in Doctor Strange and in What If are all branching timelines where instead of what happened in the 616 MCU universe, something else happens. And since He Who Remains and the TVA are technically outside of every multiverse and timeline, it's safe to say that no matter when He Who Remains dies, the entire multiverse explodes and branches at the same exact time. We even saw this happen multiple times in Loki, first on the old screen, and then again with the cosmic energy happening. Doctor Strange was just showing that when you sleep, you are viewing a multiverse self, not you creating a new universe, just showing you another. Okay. Now that was a mouthful. I understand. But I feel like all of that really needed to be said and needs to kind of be understood, because in a way, these new timelines that we're seeing are just the multiverses, and the multiverses are kind of like the timeline. So where in this universe this happened, and that universe that happened, and in that universe that happened, each one branches off into something different, which is creating the multiverse in itself, because each timeline then branches off into another timeline that branches off into another timeline, and all these different things are happening and kind of coinciding more than we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what If was all about. That's really what you have to remember. And that's what harms a lot of people, is not everybody watched What If. And in What If, that's basically what that's not even basically, that is what He Who Remains, the Watcher explains to us literally at the beginning of every single episode. At the beginning of every episode, the Watcher says, let me see. I want to get the exact words of what the Watcher says. I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast events, through these vast new realities. Follow me and dare to face the unknown and ponder the question, what if? Right? Right? Okay, so this is where a new term gets implemented and it gets confusing again, which is realities. All right. Realities, timelines, and multiverses are pretty much in it's like 1A, 1B, 1C. You know what I'm saying? Like those are pretty much in the same category because that's how we get Captain Carter from What If, but we also have a whole different Captain Carter from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness because in each branching timeline there is another branching timeline, which just makes a complete multiverse because if there's a completely different timeline going on, right, then that has to mean that there's another sun in that timeline that's not the same as the sun that we have. There's another universe. So it goes, you feel what I'm saying? So the multiverse is created by these splitting timelines. If you understand what I'm saying, okay? The Watcher also says space, time, reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a prism of endless possibility. Okay, endless possibility. Journey to face the unknown and ponder the question, what if? I am the Watcher. I observe all that transpires here, and I do not, cannot, and will not interfere. And that last part low key rhymed. I didn't even know they had my man spitting bars. So with all that being said, once again, we come back to the main point of when it comes to timelines, universes, and realities, those are in one section over here. Now we have a completely different thing when it comes to these realms, uh, and quantum realms and all these stuff in like Dormammu's dark dimension. So it's safe to say that each realm, I've seen a lot of this is where like what I just said has come from me 100%, but everything else that I say when it comes to these realms and everything is what I have seen other people kind of put together. It's not what I have put together. You might hear a little bit of my thoughts about what it is, but mostly I know that other people have put these thoughts together, right? So when it comes to realms and and dimensions and everything like that, though there's only kind of one in between every dimension. So there's like one quantum realm that exists that every dimension is connected to. Okay. So I, I'm just saying this might be this, and this is something that may be changed in the future when we see more, because we haven't seen enough of the quantum realms and the dimensions and all that of those type of dimensions necessarily. We haven't seen enough of that in the MCU just yet to kind of understand what that is, because in not Thor Love and Thunder, but the first Thor, they talk about the nine realms and all of that stuff, according to them, right? So those realms are kind of different than the realm that we see in well, of course, the quantum realm for one, and also the realm that Najma is from in Miss Marvel, right? So when it comes to those type of realms, that's a whole different section of the universe, and some realms might share just one, and then other realms, kind of like where Black Panther sees when he dies and where Moon Knight goes when he dies, those realms, I guess if you can call it, are realms that are subjugated to each dimension itself. So there's not necessarily just one. I can't even think of what Black Panther, the ancestral plane. There's not just one ancestral plane. There's many ancestral planes that spread across like each multiverse that we have, right? So when it comes to those type of things, that's where that stands. And then quantum realm, there's probably just one quantum realm. Just like when it comes to Dormammu, within Doctor Strange 1 and in the post credit scene of Doctor Strange 2, that seems like there's just one of those dimensions as well. It doesn't go across every single dimension. So that, that's the realms and all of those explained. Back to the universes, timelines, and multiverses. Okay. Dwight says, I agree with your answer. Okay. All right. All right. I'm just making sure. Michael Jimenez says, for me, it looks like they are setting up Secret Wars, little snippets. Yes. And that's what we're about to move into next, right? Okay, so Michael also says it's more like they are setting up characters that are going to meet for Phase 5 and Phase 6 in different universes. And okay, so I'm happy that you said this because this brings up a question that really uh confuses me. Okay. At the beginning of the season finale, I believe, of Loki, right? We see the entire Big Bang take place. Boom. We see the whole universe come out. Right? Boom. We come out, we see a black hole. But then we go into a different black hole and go all the way into that universe. All right. So it was like, hey, yo, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm gonna say is what does that even mean? Like, I'm a little confused. Like, we might have to go back and watch that part again, because it's like, hold on, what is this? How did we just come out of our universe that we know and then go into a universe that was different from ours, or did we come out of a universe that was different from ours and then go back into ours? Because each universe is inside of a black hole, right? Like, I mean, like it's a black hole type of thing. And then we're in the middle of it. Well, not the middle of it, but you know what I'm saying. And then, all right. And then, so where the hell are we? Are we still watching our MCU, or are we watching different MCU take place? And that also raises the question, have any of these shows and movies that we have been watching actually taken place in our MCU? Like, now that we know that we're 616, have all of these movies been taking place in the 616? Or have we unknowingly seen a couple of movies that haven't, or shows even, like Moon Knight? Moon Knight is the biggest one that we can say, like, doesn't even take place in the MCU, like, or 616 MCU, I guess you can say, because everything is technically the MCU now. But it's like, yo, where does that go? So that's a big, I'm just saying, man, these are big questions as well that are on the outside that we still need answers to. And Kevin Feige could just come along and be like, hey, guess what? These movies are actually in the 837 universe, and you actually weren't there. And now we have the 837 universe comics that we gotta, or not the comics, but the movies that we kind of gotta watch to build up that one. Because when it comes to Secret Wars, bro, the way I feel about Secret Wars is, how do we get into this big fight and not to where we don't care about all of these different multiversal characters, right? They're not going to just have us rooting for our 616 characters. We're going to be wanting to root for the other Iron Man that we might see, or whatever the case may be, like all these other characters, we might root for them instead. But how do they get us to care about this big fight? Are we just going to care about our characters and our characters only? No. So it would make sense that we possibly get some movies that aren't set within our MCU proper. What do you guys think about that? How would you feel about that? Michael says, now we have a big question. Who is a bigger threat than Thanos, a villain that is bigger than Galactus, or Kang, a villain that battled different universes? So the reason why I still feel like Kang is going to be the big bad, and he is the bigger threat than Thanos, because Thanos was only here. You know what I mean? He was only in our. Well, I mean, he is in every 616. Not every. I mean, every multiverse there is a Thanos, of course, but I mean, he wasn't going to other multiverses and like doing nothing. I guess you could say technically he did travel to our timeline, or to the future timeline, uh, which actually did cause a completely different multiverse. So I guess that was a multiversal Thanos that we saw at the end of Endgame, not even a Thanos from the past, because that means that we branch off. Once Thanos dies there and he gets snapped by Tony, that means, bro, that Thanos doesn't go back to his multiverse. So now there's now there's a, not even a timeline. Now there's a multiverse, I guess you can say, that exists. And I guess that's why they chose not to talk about it like that, because then it sounds crazy. You know what I mean? Like, no, that was a multiversal Thanos that came at the end of Endgame, not a Thanos from the past. And there's like, yo, what? No. So wait, that's how multiverse, you know what I mean? And then it's like, nah, we don't want to explain it like that. So we have to kind of say that he was from the past or from a different timeline. And I guess you can even retcon it and say that when Tony snapped, he was snapping everyone back to their initial timeline, not actually killing anybody. But I digress. But I still feel like that the reason why I feel like Kang is going to be the big villain is because he's going across multiverses and doing this. He's causing this multiversal war. So I feel like we're going to see the multiversal war kind of take place first, and then we're gonna see that Secret Wars take place after that, and then possibly get into Battle World because we're definitely getting Doctor Doom as well, and Doom is Big Daddy Doom, and that's why I'm like, yo, everybody kind of needs to take a couple breaths. Let's relax. Let's sit back and chill out because, my guy, look at how long it took the MCU to even become the MCU to now where all these expectations are coming from, uh like the reason why these expectations everyone has is because the MCU is great and they've done such a good job this far, and everybody's like, please don't drop the ball. And it's like they're not dropping the ball, they're just setting up the new MCU, and they have to set up all these new characters because we can't just depend off of the Avengers anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like that the Avengers was awesome, but it was only having the Avengers. We're talking about getting to the next level, bro. We can go to Civil War 2 before we even get to anything about Secret Wars. We can get Doctor Doom introduced, the Fantastic Four introduced, we can get the mutants introduced, and all this stuff can just happen in like these in phase 4, 5, and 6. We're in the new saga, you guys. We're in the new saga. So we're starting off at one again. It's just that it's not really one because it's still continuing from the past story. So we have to be introduced to all of these new characters so we care about them when we see them in the next form, the next wave of movies that come out. If we don't, then what, like, you know what I mean? How are we going to care that, Miss Marvel and all these other characters and all these other teams, we need these other things. Like Thunderbolts is coming. I'm excited for Thunderbolts. We wouldn't even be able to have Thunderbolts. Jesus. Lord. Think about the team that we're getting for Thunderbolts. The entire team that we're getting from Thunderbolts, well, almost the entire team, has been introduced in phase 4. Like, yo, some of them have been from the end of phase 3. A lot of them are phase 4. Yelling up Lova. The Baron Zemo that we care about, at least. Like Baron Zemo was awesome in the first Civil War, don't get me wrong. But seeing Baron Zemo and Captain and Falcon and Winter Soldier is what got a lot of people like, I am here, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like people were pumped for that Baron Zemo that we got. And I think a lot of people forget about how good Zemo was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He's on it. In Shang-Chi, we get introduced to the Ten Rings. We've already seen that in the past MCU and this one. And then we have Abomination in that. And that sets up something in itself. What does it set up? It sets up that prison that we saw in what? Miss Marvel just now. Like, bro, we are getting connective tissue. The guy that was in Spider-Man No Way Home that works for the DODC in Miss Marvel. They're connecting the MCU in their own way. I understand COVID really effed up everything, and I hope everybody understands that. You know what I'm saying? COVID put a damper in a lot of stuff. Like we weren't supposed to wait 2.5 years for Black Widow, like we were supposed to have that immediately. So, phase 4, man, we're starting all the way over, baby. We're starting over. It's not even a soft reset. We're just continuing. I mean, I guess it is a soft reset, to be completely honest. It is the softest feather of a reset ever because we're not even resetting anything. We're just reacting to everything. Let me see what my guy Richie Palmer said about phase 4. Okay. This is what I want y'all to just check out right here real quick. Okay. How do I put this up here? Blood Owl, right? Okay. we see this. Are we you seen this? You hear about this? Oh wait. Let me put it more on the screen a little better. No. Let's do it like this. There we go. All right. Let's zoom in a little bit because I know some of y'all are older and need some help. Marvel's Phase 4 is a reaction to Avengers Endgame, says producer. Okay, all right. Now, hear me out. What was the biggest thing? Not only, I mean, I know me and Battery were saying a lot here on the channel, but a lot of people were saying this after Endgame. Okay, I'm going deeper into that article. Don't worry. What did everybody say we wanted to see from Endgame? After Endgame, we wanted to see how the world reacted and what happened in the rest of the world because of the events of Endgame. We didn't want to just get thrown straight into a whole new MCU that we just got characters everywhere. We wanted, excuse me, the we wanted to see, the devastation that it caused the rest of the world how did everybody deal with what happened from Endgame? We lost 5 years of the MCU. We didn't see 5 years of the MCU, and then everybody got brought back, and it actually really mattered. Like, it actually mattered. So we all of us, me and Battery, were like preaching this at the beginning. Was like, yo, we do not want to see a whole bunch of just stuff now. We want to see how everybody is going to react to what happened. And guess what? That is immediately what we got. I mean, with the first movie, of course, with like Black Widow, of course, that Black Widow movie was really just I think someone just said it an unpopular fan. He said it. I consider Black Widow a Yelena origin movie. It's my opinion. Yeah, and I agree with that. That is what Black Widow is, yo. Very similar to how Hawkeye is a Kate Bishop origin story, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier is actually a Captain America origin story. Do you understand? You know what I mean? Spider-Man, the trilogy of Spider-Man was an origin story for Spider-Man. That's all it was. We weren't actually getting the full-blown Spider-Man. Nah, this is the lead up to this, okay? So we have been getting origins this whole time, and it's new origins, mind you. The heroes that have been inspired by the heroes that we already know and love, right? I mean, that's basically what that is. All of the heroes that we've come to understand, they have now passed down their mantles and or inspired new people to pick up new mantles, right? I think that's safe to say. So, with all that being said, we have to all remember that we are in the reaction. We are in, like, it's not even phase 4. We're in like phase 3.5. Okay. Like, this is 3.5. Look at all of the Thunderbolts we're getting, bro. Like we're getting Thunderbolts next. I think production starts on that next year, bro. Like, next year, Thunderbolts production starts. And we're getting Abomination, Yelena Belova, Baron Zemo. We're getting the homegirl from Quantum, Ant-Man and Wasp, Ghost. We're getting Taskmaster. You feel me? Like, yo, like how we are about to literally be into a whole new MCU, you guys. And I just really hope everybody is super prepared for that, because like everything except, like, I want to say, like, Thor Love and Thunder has been a reaction to what's happened into the MCU. Look at WandaVision. WandaVision was freaking amazing. And you know why? One of the reasons why WandaVision was so amazing, even when we were watching it, was because there was newsreels in the background talking about what was going on within the universe. We saw that everything was because of how broken Wanda was from everything that happened in the last 3 phases. Her losing her brother, her losing Vision, having to murder Vision, and it literally being for nothing. And that was something that a lot of people was even talking about in the fandom of Twitterverse and all this stuff. Was like, yo, Wanda did all that, and my man still died. And it's like, yeah, that did happen. And guess what? Because of it, she's traumatized, and she's done this because of what we saw in Endgame. This is because of that she's here now. Everyone's like, oh, it doesn't make sense as to why Scarlet Witch would automatically turn to this. My guy, what? she lost her brother, and then she had to murder her husband, or the love of her life, whatever you want to call it, for him to be then brought back to life, to then be murdered again. And then when she makes a fake version of her husband, forgets about it. Then they have kids that are actually real. And now the kids is gone. That was the only connection to the man that she had to kill 7 times now. Like, she's had to kill this guy 7 times. Like, bruh, that is enough to be shattered right there. Like, did we forget this is the same Wanda that was already a bad guy when we first got introduced to her working for Ultron? What? What's happening? You know what I mean? Like, people have completely forgot how WandaVision is. I mean, pick up a comic book. Look at what she does. And like, Scarlet Witch is the cause of some of the most amazing things that's happened. Like, what? A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people do like it. Like, come on. Let's not act like we don't know what was coming to us anyway. I was talking about Scarlet Witch being the main villain. Me and Battery were talking about this since the end of Endgame. It was like, yeah, bruh. She's definitely about to be the villain. When they announced her show, we were like, yep, that's when we're going to see her be the villain. You know, like, this is what we've been building up to. It would be like Captain America 4 coming out and people not realizing that it's going to be Anthony Mackie as Captain America. They had a whole show about this. Like, we've set up this MCU for a reason. You know what I mean? So I think it's time for a rewatch. That's all I'm going to say. Peter is now Spider-Man. Yes, sir. That is right, Unpopular. I agree so much. He is now Spider-Man, bro. That, like, Peter was erased from the minds of everybody. Like, Peter Parker don't even exist anymore, basically. Man, and you know what? That could have even been a write-off for Tom Holland. So we don't ever see him without his mask on again, ever. Because we're not going, because he, you know, we see he don't want to re-sign his deal. He was supposed to be Spider-Man in the freshman year thing. He's not. Like, bro, God, what's happening? Love and Thunder is origin story for Thor. He is a new man. He is Uncle Father Thor now. Yeah. Yes, sir. That is correct. And everybody gets to feel how they feel about that one. Michael Jimenez says, and some of the shows and movies are also slowly introducing not just the Thunderbolts, they're introducing members of Young Avengers, New Avengers, and Alphas, all female Avengers, and mutants too. Exactly. And I feel like all that goes without being said. I feel like that's kind of like, we have literally like 5 teams being built right now, and not even all of them are good guy teams. Some of these can end up, we could see like a Thunderbolt versus New Avengers type of thing go on. Who wouldn't want to see that? I don't know. I don't know who wouldn't want to see it, because I do. That could even be our, I don't want to say our Civil War 2, because I want Civil War 2 to be more Civil War 2-ish, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, between like Captain Marvel and like Captain America or something like that. And they're like both having their own issues with the Accords. Or whatever. I don't know what it could be about, but you feel me? We don't have, it could be Ironheart, I guess, because she's gonna kind of come in. I don't know. I'm just spitting. I'm just spitballing here. Okay, so let's go to the next part of the article. Right here. This is the part that I want to talk about. What happens when you lose everything? You know, some people handle it differently than others. Peter Parker dove into the persona of Spider-Man at the end of No Way Home. He's completely let the Spider-Man's persona take over as a response to his loss and his trauma. For Peter, of course, being Spider-Man means going and being the biggest hero of all time, bruh. Like literally everything that we have seen is all about the crazy actions and reactions of a broken hero. Like, what happens when our heroes lose? That's what we all wanted to know. This is what happens. They spiral out of control. They lose their minds. They don't do what we want them. Like, bruh, every step of the way has literally been a hero running away from what they want to do or from what they know because of what we've seen happen to them. Like it's a direct result of this. You know what I mean? The past that we're looking at back there. All of that stuff that happened, that's what's causing what we're looking at now. And it's like people are already worried about what the next big thing is going to be, and we don't even. It's like, can we just let everybody take a second? Like everybody needs to take a breather, yo. Like these people just went through crazy loss and tragedy and sorrow in the MCU, though. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're not looking at it like that, then it's like, yo, this is what I thought. This is what we all wanted. You know what I mean? I thought we all wanted to get that reaction of, man, we lost. Like I didn't want to get right back into the amazing action and immediately have our next big bad, who, mind you, was literally already introduced in a multiversal way, and it's a multiversal villain, bruh. Come on, come on, come on, bruh. Like, come on. We are about to head into sheer amazingness, you guys. Sheer amazingness, and I am super ready. I'm holding on. I am here for the ride, yo. And now let's get into the next part, which is going to be us talking about where we're going with this phase. And I think uh, this is something that I've kind of been trying to explain on the channel across a long period of time, but this guy literally went and he summed up everything perfectly and even expanded on a lot of things that I never even thought of. Brought a lot of awesomeness to the whole Snizzle Fritz, to the whole do, 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 to the whole ball game, I guess you could say. Like, bro, this is where we are now. Things are about to get spicier than they have been ever. Wait, was that on Facebook or was it on Twitter? I feel like it was on Twitter. So how you guys feeling, man? How you guys feeling? Like really tell me how you guys are feeling about phase four. How you feeling about the things that I have presented to you so far? Do you feel like, do you feel like, nah, that's not it, bruh? Like they just dropping the ball? Or do you see the vision? Because I see like, do you see the vision of everybody coping from the major loss that they had? Because this is the coping phase basically, bro. Like we gotta cope from all of the trauma and heartbreak and death that has literally been happening to us nonstop, while also still building up the future MCU, mind you. Like we're still building up the MCU even on top of that. Like which is crazy. Like look at what happened in Miss Marvel. Literally introducing mutants, literally like bruh, what? And we know we still have like Blade coming. We haven't even seen a vampire yet. Like how could like I'm still in the moment of where we are, and I think that's the issue is when phases 1 through 3 and the entirety of the Infinity Saga happened, we didn't know what was really going on. We didn't know what was happening until Avengers. Like, and then even then it was still like, damn, these are just a bunch of amazing movies still. And then slowly everything got together and started creating this new place that we are now. And now that we're here and there, we shouldn't see the future because we don't have our Avengers movie yet that has really like, I guess you could say, directed where we're going. Now we're all like, nah, bro, it's out of here. They're dropping the ball, everyone's losing the faith. And I'm like, come on, baby, it's getting spicy. We just now getting spicy. Bro, where did it go? I'm looking for it, and I'm gonna keep looking for it because it was awesome. And I thought I had it right at my fingertips, but I guess not. Damn. Uh, Wait, did I bookmark it? Bro, how the hell does Twitter work with all these bookmark? Like, bro, like I'm trying to. If I bookmark something, I shouldn't have to go look for it. Like, what is the list? What's happening? Where are we? Where am I? Wait, is it Marvel Bros? Bro, what was it on? My man Unpopular says Peter is going to be the symbiote soon. Scares the life out of me. He's going to be crazy. Crazy. Peter lost everybody. OMG, bro. And guess what? Guess what? Guess where we see Spider-Man first get the symbiote in the comics. I'll give you a little second. Guess what happens? Motherfucking Secret Wars. Come on, y'all. Come on, baby. We are here. Like, we are here. Like, we are literally watching comic books take place in live action, and people are complaining. And you know who the people are that are kind of complaining? Guess who? Guess who? Guess. The people that didn't really read the comic books. Like, come on, man. And then when the comic book readers actually complain, that's when everybody be like, bruh, shut up. What are you talking about? This was amazing. It's like, bro, what? Do you know how dope it was in the comic, though? They'd be like, nah. It's like, oh, all right, cool. Cool. So what the hell are we talking about then? I'm telling you, wait until I find this um this tweet I'm looking for, because this is about to be, I don't even know. Did I save it possibly? Man. Yep, Secret Wars, baby. That's right. Doctor Doom is coming in Wakanda forever. Things are gonna be crazy, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's about to get spicy in the kitchen, my guy. It already is spicy in the kitchen. That's why I'm so confused. I'm like, what? You don't think it's spicy right now? I'm like, it's mad spicy out here. Mad spicy. God damn, son. I think I seen it before this. Yeah, 999, man. My man says 991. My bad. I don't want them to kill off T'Challa. So much more story. And yo, look, this is what I'll say about when it comes to T'Challa. Oh, snap, my boy Demonic, bruh. Yo, what's up with it, Demonic? Yo, this was for you, baby. This one was for you. You don't have to watch it on the replay. I talked about your comment that you initially put in the Discord asking about timelines and universes and all of that, and kind of just elaborated and went into a little bit more depth about all of that, brother. Man. But yeah, bro. But I understand. I don't want them to kill off T'Challa either. I'm definitely for people for like the whole recast T'Challa type of thing, because there are a lot of dope things that have happened. But the way I think about it is like, imagine if they would have recast Iron Man because they didn't want to, give him more money or anything like that. And it just feels like when some like how big of a role it was for him and how much he did in that role, it does make sense for them to kind of let that role be his, at least for right now, especially when we were in the process of already passing these mantles on and down. And you know what I mean? It's like I mean, the way I'm thinking of it is that they can give not all of T'Challa's but they can give a lot of T'Challa's story just to Black Panther and make them be Black Panther stories, even though I know it's T'Challa in the comics, but I'm just saying, like, whoever our next Black Panther truly will be, they can still give him T'Challa's stories and deal with it on that type of hype. And all the comments about um, his son supposedly being there. You know, his son supposedly being the new T'Challa and coming in and doing his G thing and being our new Black Panther. And any of that, I'm pretty much down for. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I do feel it. They should. I don't think they should have recasted, but I kind of understand why they didn't. It's one of those things. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like, nah, I feel you, but man, uh, my man Demonic says I've been doing so much things these past 2 weeks, man. I'm sorry, I've been missing so much. It's all good, Demonic. We love you, brother, and we love whenever you are here with us. Much love to you. Uh, Shout out to my boy Demonic. Shout out to all of the members on the channel. You guys rock socks. Um, let's see. Chadwick loves this character so much. I doubt he'd want to waste his character just because of his death. So would Robert Downey Jr. You'd think? I mean, it's hard to talk about it. Like saying just because of his death is crazy for one. Like for one, that's crazy. But I do feel like it's like I understand it though, bro. I understand. That's all I'm saying is I understand. And yeah, he might have yes, he might have wanted it to still live on, but at the same time, bro, when we have such an influential character, like think about all the things that he did as Black Panther, all the places he went, all of the people he talked to, even the children that had cancer as well that he was going and seeing, like Chadwick got built up to be T'Challa, aka Black Panther. So it's like, I don't know, bro. Uh it's kind of hard, bro. You know what I mean? It's just kind of hard it's just kind of hard. Um, Demonic says, how do you think they will deal with Chadwick Bowman's death and his role as Black Panther? Well, supposedly he's supposed to die in the movie of illness, like he's supposed to die of a sickness. I don't know how real that is, you know what I mean? But according to rumors and some plot leaks as well, he's supposedly supposed to die in the movie and we're supposed to see it, you know what I mean? And then Shuri is supposedly supposed to become the Black Panther, and then yeah, other stuff is supposed to happen. So I don't know how I feel about that. Namor is also supposed to be in the movie. I really hope Namor doesn't kill Black Panther because that'll be a really hard thing for people to accept. So yeah. My man Michael Jimenez says they're gonna make Werewolf by Night, and supposedly Moon Knight's supposed to be coming back in Werewolf by Night. And I'm hoping that gives us a little bit more viewpoints into the darkness of what we're about to get into. 991 says, yeah, but yeah, you do have a point. My man said, oh, that sounded insensitive. Hey, bro, it's all good. I knew what you meant, though. I knew what you meant, though. Unpopular fan says, Werewolf by Night is going to introduce Elsa, Bloodstone, and Man Thing, and Moon Knight might show up, too. I'm excited. Oh, yeah, bro, for sure. I'm excited for it as well. I think Werewolf by Night is gonna be secretly a banger. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's secretly just gonna be top tier, bro. I think it's gonna be top tier, no cap, brother. Like, I really think it's gonna be the best thing. Not the best thing, but it's gonna be like one of the darkest that we see. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't really got into the darkness phase of everything. Bro, I'm really trying to find this thread that I saw, bro, because it was oh man, when I say it was beautiful. The way it weaved everything together, it was just yeah, it was nice.
I hope it didn't get like deleted. I knew I should have screenshotted it, yo. Um, but how do you guys feel about what I just told you about Black Panther and like what might be happening there? How would you feel about Shuri being Black Panther? How would you feel about him and Homegirl having a baby together, and that baby then growing up to be, Black Panther? I mean, I know that might take a fat minute, but we don't know what type of universe, multiversal, timeline jumping, crossword puzzle shit gonna be going on. Damn, son, I knew I should have screenshotted it or something, but I was like, nah, I'll be able to find it immediately when I need it again. That never happens. It never happens. All right, let's see some of these comments. Moon Knight versus Black Panther would have been great. I think we can still get that. I think we can still get that. I think it would. I think it would definitely be awesome though. I think that would probably be super dope. I wouldn't. I don't even know what to compare that to be honest. Like you couldn't even compare that fight to anything but Moon Knight versus Black Panther. Like you know what I'm saying? You couldn't say, oh, that's like this person versus that person. I don't think you really could. Demonic says they should make him die in battle. I mean, it's just so. I think whenever you do, if someone is in real life has already passed away, I think it's kind of intense to have him die in battle. But I mean, I don't know, like they didn't have what is her name, Miss Fisher, the lady from Star Wars that played Leia, OG Leia in the uh, sequel trilogy. They didn't have her just like go out into space and die like that. So I don't know. I don't know. Um, but I understand what you're saying once again. 991, my man says, I'm not a fan of Shuri Black Panther at all. It sounds forced. I haven't seen Shuri Black Panther popping off in comics either. Make Shuri into her own character rather than just a female version of Black Panther. I mean, yes, I understand, but once again, it's not like it doesn't happen. And she's not going to be holding the mantle for a long time. I think she's just holding the mantle for uh, the current time being. More also, some reports also state that M'Baku is going to be the king of Wakanda, and then she's going to be the Black Panther for a little while in the MCU until we get to a point where T'Challa's son can then become Black Panther. And I don't know. Unpopular fan says we're gonna get the street side, the cosmic side, supernatural side. Let's go, Marvel, bro. That's what I'm saying, fam. Like we haven't even been introduced to the supernatural side of the MCU like that yet. Like we're at the very beginning of everything when it comes to that. So it's like, bruh, like wait until we actually get into the door with it, bro. Like once we really get into like Blade, having vampires, having all these different creatures and shit popping up, bro, don't play. It's about to be insane. It's about to be insane. And then everybody's going to be fighting each other on top of that at some point. Oh, yeah. Yes. Sign me up right now. I'll get the tickets in advance and you don't have to worry about anything else. I'll be there. I'll be there right now. Like, bro, what do you mean? That's exactly what that's exactly what I thought we all have been waiting for once again. Like I thought that's where we was. I thought everybody was like, "Yes, sir. Let's go, baby." I guess it was just me. Because bruh, we are in an amazing time in the MCU to where all we can do is keep looking forward to the next thing that's happening because it's just building up the entire world of where we are and where we're going to be going. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, ba, ba. Bro, I'm really looking for the thing that I saw because I want to also give this guy credit for his amazing thoughts and how he put it together. I don't want to just speak from it. I want to actually read his actual. Uh, Wait, was it on Instagram, bro? Nah, no shot. It was on Instagram, right? Let me see. It might have been pictures of a tweet, to be completely honest, bro. Now that I'm thinking about it, uh, how in the hell do you even? Nah, I'm not about to say that. I'm gonna sound like an old ass man. I found it. I found it. Damn, I thought I had it in there, Bucko. Damn, son. Alrighty, guess it's disappeared. Ha ha ha! I have found it. I have found it, ladies and gentlemen, and I am ecstatic. All right, so let's favorite that thing, and then we're gonna bring it up on the screen for all of us to be able to check it out. We go to Insta. Ooh, they changed the way that Instagram looks on the dashboard. That's pretty lit, son. Oh. All right, now let's come here. Saved. Wow. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, let me make sure I know where I left off on these comments. All right, all right. Without further ado, wait, maybe I should catch up on some of these because it looks like y'all was really talking. Nah. I really want to show y'all this part. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Y'all ready? Because I promise this is about to be life changing. All right. Task is not going to SDCC. I don't know what his at was, but shout out to him. And too bad his full username isn't up there. Off if I can find it. Hey, that low key look like me right there. Hey, yo, son, that look like me. Bro, tell me that don't look like me, bro. You can't. That looks like me, bro. Yo, this yo, bro, right here looks like me, bro. That's all I can say. He got the glasses and everything with the little waka. Bro, I'm rolling. That's hilarious. He got the whole style, bro. He got the whole style. The wife said, "Nah, that's you, yo, bro. You see it, right? Like, look at that. That looks like me, bro. Look, bro. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, bro." Derpy said, "Hey, what's up with it, Derp? How you doing, my man? All right, so here we go. Here we go. I keep seeing people saying that Phase 4 has no direction, so let me help y'all out. Remember how previous phases introduced Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, and then made it all connect? That's what's happening now. For those of you not paying attention, first we're getting the Thunderbolts. These will most likely be the new Avengers team till they come back somehow. We've been introduced to U.S. Agent. I kept forgetting to say U.S. Agent. And Yelena, both visited by Contessa, with more returning. I'm pretty sure Abomination, Zemo, and Ghost will be back. Yes, we've talked about this on a pop culture news update. If you guys are there, then you know that we talked about that. Even possibly seeing my guy right here. Could possibly coming back. And we also talked about Ghost. We know that they're going to be coming back. Young Avengers almost. Oh wait. Oh, maybe. Okay. Young Avengers. Almost every project Phase 4. In Phase 4 has introduced a new younger character from Miss Marvel to Kate Bishop, Speed and Wiccan, Patriot from Falcon and Winter Soldier, you guys. That was Isaiah Bradley's nephew or his grandson, America Chavez, etc. You feel me? And also Love from Thor: Love and Thunder. Yes, yeah, I'm sorry. Um, wait. And there's still more coming. All right, there's still more coming. Other than that, we still have more. This one is important. Check this out. This is what blew my mind because all the other stuff I kind of figured out on my own as well. But this I didn't ever think about. The Dark Hold. Now, if they do it like the comics, the Dark Hold is the reason why all things that go bump in the night exist. Vampires, werewolves, etc., all from the Dark Hold. But now all versions of the Dark Hold are destroyed, and someone will need to stop all of the things that go bump in the night. You feel me? You feel me? Like, bro, what? They're literally setting up everything with everything that they're doing. And it's so good and it's like so insane that we don't even realize it. Yeah, this is speculation. None of this is like 100% confirmed, but it's kind of at that point where it's like, oh no, that's what's happening for sure. You know what I mean? We have a full Midnight Suns team that's also fighting the entire supernatural side, no doubt with Blade at the helm. We've also got Black Knight introduced. Let's not forget that. Literally everything that we've gotten has introduced new people. Shang-Chi introduced like 5 new characters for no reason. Um, at the after credit scene of Shang-Chi, I was wondering why Carol was there. Anything Shang-Chi related doesn't tie with Captain Marvel. But then in Miss Marvel, I see that she also has jewelry that will most likely tie to Kree technology, which explains the beacon, Carol said. Now, this is something that you already know if you've been here for a while on the channel that I have been talking about explicitly since like forever. I was like, bro, Shang-Chi, the 10 rings, and the bangle are 100% connected to each other somehow, some way. And boom, lo and behold, that's exactly what happens. Like, bro, like we are literally about to have our minds blown by the future of the MCU, bro. We're not even close to being ready for it. We thought that the Infinity Saga was freaking crazy, bro. You think about how many characters we've been introduced to already. Like Scarlet Scarab from Moon Knight, she could die, just boom, murdered in front of our faces, and we care about her because we saw her in Moon Knight, and it's like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, yo, bro, it's about to get spicy. Moon Knight and Thor: Love and Thunder introduced us to a new side of the MCU. Gods. Not only do they exist, they all meet up and talk to each other. I think this will all lead to the War of the Realms. All of these gods will soon go to war with Thor, caught in the middle of it all. And this is something that I love about Disney Plus that almost nobody really paid attention to. Literally everything was connected to, like, almost every show was connected to a movie in somehow or some way, right? WandaVision connected to Doctor Strange. Falcon and Winter Soldier, we haven't necessarily, I don't think we've necessarily, well, no. Falcon and Winter Soldier was connected to Shang-Chi because those were both taking place in the place that starts with the M, Madrigal. No, Madripoor. Madripoor? One of those things. One of those mags. Both of those took place in the same place in different places. So Falcon and Winter Soldier connected to Shang-Chi. And then we got what came next? Loki. That was directly connected to Spider-Man No Way Home. People don't even realize that because Kevin Feige literally said what happened in Loki, what Sylvie and Loki did, are the reason that Doctor Strange's spell didn't work in Spider-Man No Way Home. It wasn't just because Peter kept adding all these different things. It was because the multiverse had been created right as that spell was going on or before the spell. I mean, you know how that works in Loki. It happens across the entire timeline, right? Okay, right? Okay. So remember that. So and then we had what was next? What was after that? Hawkeye. Hawkeye was kind of connected to Spider-Man No Way Home as well in its own effed up way. I guess you could say after Hawkeye was Moon Knight. Moon Knight was connected to Thor: Love and Thunder because they both talked about the gods. You know what I'm saying? Like we are literally getting space
like ground level shit, everything connected at the same damn time in our faces. And that's why everybody is so confused, because there's literally everything going on at once, the way it's supposed to fucking be. Loki has already introduced us to the idea of alternative worlds where the characters we know and love exist but differently. There were a lot of things that were foreshadowing to the future as well, from the Living Tribunal to Kang. Oh, yeah, I can't talk about that yet. I don't know what he was talking about there though. Hawkeye accomplished numerous things. It introduced us to Kate Bishop and also accomplished a simple goal: the introduction to the Street MCU. We can now tell a story of the street level heroes that begins here with Echo and will lead into Daredevil, brought to you by Kingpin, by guy. Kingpin. That was the best thing in Hawkeye. Hawkeye, I was not a big fan of, but I did appreciate it. I did appreciate it for being like the street level. It just seemed a little bit too cartoonish, if you will. And now Eternals, one of the biggest things in the MCU, is heading towards space. This film showed not only the history of the MCU, but also showed how Earth fits in all of it. This film will age like fine fucking wine in the future and could be the catalyst that leads to how they introduce. Who do you think he's going to say? What do you think he's about to say, you guys? What do you think he's going to say is going to be introduced by this? Huh? What do you think? I can make some guesses, but what do you think? I promise you, mutants, baby. That's what, motherfucker. Mutants. Mutants, yo. Miss Marvel has already kicked off the idea of mutants in the MCU. And if my theory is correct, which is another theory that we also had here on the channel in our pop culture news update like 2 or 3 weeks ago, that will also continue in Wakanda Forever, where they reveal that Namor is a mutant as well. This would explain why he's not blue and can breathe air and can fly. Now, let's take a second to talk about that statement that he just said, right? Why he's not blue, okay? In the MCU, up until now, there has been only two races really that we know of that are blue: the Kree and Yondu's race. Okay, as far as we know, Yondu is the only one of his race that has ever been to planet Earth, and we know that the Kree have come to Earth in different ways. Okay, we know that they have, in the form of pink skin Krees, not necessarily the blue skin Krees like we saw in the Ten Rings Temple in the Miss Marvel television show. Okay, all right. Now, Captain Marvel specifically says that the tech isn't Kree tech, and that, like, don't get me wrong, it could be because she's not thousands of years old and does not have privy to that type of knowledge, because the 10 rings were thousands of years old. We know that Shang-Chi's father was in hold of those 10 rings for freaking ever, bro. He had them for freaking ever. Like, since they came to Earth, he had them, right? So if that is kind of the same thing with the Bengal, if that's been here just as long or a little bit longer, then we know that, that's kind of why Captain Marvel doesn't know about him, because she's only from like the 90s. So she wouldn't know something that happened in like the 1000s type shit. You know what I'm saying? So if this connects to what I'm thinking, maybe the Atlanteans are the ones that have the technology that we are looking for, and this is one of Namor's reasons for being so pissed off in the Wakanda Forever movie that we're gonna see. He's gonna be like, "Yo, they've been stealing our technology. Like, you don't care. Like, you won't let them steal your whatever you say." Like, let's say Namor is like a Killmonger cultist type of vibe. Like, I don't want to go that deep with it, but he's going to have that type of vibe to him, as to like, yo, why not help us? We're a secret city. We're a secret society just like y'all. Like, we a whole secret environment. We need to help. We need help from y'all. You know what I mean? And he's like, and then of course, Wakanda, being how Wakanda is going to be like, nah, or they already told him nah. You know what I'm saying? We could even get flashbacks in the Wakanda Forever movie of T'Challa already denying Namor that reach out, like that hand to help, like Namor could be like coming, and we see T'Challa in like the deep fake vibe, and he's like, no,
I can't help you. I'm sorry. And this is before Black Panther. So he doesn't have that thought of, oh, let's bring the world our technology now. And then Black Panther happens, and Namor is like, hey, bro, why didn't you come and help us? And then boom, that's the catalyst for the entire movie right there. Right there. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? It's very possible. Namor's gonna fly as well, I guess, from what he just said right here. Is that the last one, or is there another one? Okay. Oh, and one last thing. In Multiverse of Madness, we start to learn about the incursions, the worlds colliding and being destroyed. This is why everyone is saying Secret Wars is coming. This will be the new endgame if true. Okay, so you guys, if Secret Wars is the new endgame, that means we have 10 years at the least to wait for it. At the most, I mean, to wait for it. 10 years at the most to get to Secret Wars. And they are already teasing it within the first couple of projects that we're getting in phase 4? What? What? We already know about the multiverse already, and the Secret Wars is supposed to be our next in-game level event. We had Secret Invasion is about the scrolls. Demonic. We have already now seen the multiverse be introduced. We have all these different timeline branches and everything also being introduced, bro. Like Secret War, we had Avengers, what was the other one? Age of Ultron? Was that the next one? And then was it Infinity War? And then Endgame, right? Because we had 4 Avengers movies in phase and the Infinity Saga, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because Loki, Ultron, and then Thor, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm just making sure. And then Thor, and then Thanos, my bad. And then part 2, right? Yes. Yeah. All right. 4 Avengers movies in Infinity Saga. We have not even got one Avengers level movie yet. It's barely going to start filming next year. Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is going to be this saga's Avengers 1. Okay. People might not like that, but that's what that's going to be. At least that's what I'm thinking, is this is going to be our Avengers 1 movie of the amalgamation of all of the other things that we've been seeing happen on the street level of MCU, possibly see Kingpin in there somewhere, all that good stuff. That's going to be our Avengers 1. We still have a whole other Avengers movie to get before we even get to the Secret Wars. And that in Secret Wars, if Secret Wars is going to be in game, then technically we have a whole nother movie before we even get to that. Like, bro, we are still in the early stages. Like right now, where we haven't even got we're barely at like the Iron Man 2 stage of phase 1. You know what I mean? Like, because phase 1 was Iron Man 2, Thor, Incredible Hulk, Captain America, and then Avengers. We are not even at Incredible Hulk or Thor. Like, we might have barely just got Thor introduced to us right now. Like, or next year, that's when we're really going to get Thor introduced to us. That's the way to think about it. You know what I'm saying? We got to think about it as all these fresh heroes, the fresh eyes, all the good things, all the good stuff. Task finishes with saying, feel free to add anything you think could be missing. I guess since I'm used to comic format somehow, I'm used to multiple stories going on at once that will add up at the end. I just hope y'all have the same patience as me. See y'all Saturday for Hall H. Bro, this is this is beautiful. This man deserves an award for putting this together, because I don't think I could have said it any better myself, because this is what we are in on our way to. We're still getting Secret Invasion, which is all about the Skrulls having straight infiltrated everything that we know about. We still are getting Armor Wars. Like, there's still projects that we know about that we still haven't got, and they're about to introduce even more coming up in this week.
and they're gonna introduce more later this year with at D23 and Disney Plus Day. Like, bro, we have, bruh. I say this all the time on the channel, and I'm gonna say it again, you guys. What a time to be a nerd. Okay, what a time to be a nerd. The time is now. The time is now. Don't sleep on the MCU, guys, because we are literally just getting started, man. We're just getting started all over again. All over again. If you've watched Young Justice, it's like going from season 2 to season 3. It's like, oh my God, what just happened? I just got punched in the face. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on, but I have to get ready for everything all over again. And then you get hit with Young Justice Phantoms. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening all over? Like, bro, we are in uncharted waters, you guys, and it is awesome. It's freaking awesome. I love being able to theorize about all the stuff that's going to happen. I love being able to be like, bro, what's coming next? To be able to even sit here and have you guys here with me, and we're all talking about how hyped we are about Marvel and the MCU, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, Thor: Love and Thunder was definitely like probably the weakest project to me so far in Phase 4, and I hope we don't have like a repeat of what happened with that, because Gore the God Butcher, man, he deserves to be a villain that we see time and time again, not one and done, you know? And I feel like that's really the biggest fail of the MCU right now, is having these one and done villains. And it's kind of at the cost of having great names be the villains, you know? I would rather have someone I have no idea of come and do a freaking extravagant job at Gore the God Butcher and not have an issue with the tentacles being on his face, and be able to have him for like 3 or 4 different movies, not just Thor: Love and Thunder. You know what I mean? Like not have him just, give up at the end. Like he got all the way. I want to see these villains get to the point where they're about to win and freaking win, or freaking do something. Like, it was only for like maybe the first 3 minutes that I was like, oh man, Gore is actually going to kill all the gods. And then I realized quickly, like, oh no, he's not. Like, we didn't even get to see him kill any gods, and then he dies at the end of the movie. Bro, we don't need this anymore. We're way past that. Like, if Marvel wants a high level character or an actor and they don't care about the MCU, I don't think us as the fans should want them in the movie at all. Like, don't get me wrong, Christian Bale is awesome, but he didn't give a damn about the MCU, and he went on record like bashing it. Like, why would they want someone representing their fan base that doesn't even care, bro? Like, that doesn't even care. Killmonger dead, Ultron dead. Like, bro, like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want these heroes to die. We don't want these villains to die. We want them to possibly come back in the future, or for something else. Like, oh no, like bro, like I don't know. I don't think that's just me that feels that way. I'm pretty sure we all kind of feel that way. We want these villains to come back. Unpopular says Zemo really won in Civil War. That was amazing. He tore the Avengers apart, and look at what they get to do because they didn't kill him off. They get to bring him back as part of the Thunderbolts, and it's going to be amazing. Like, for people like Ultron, you can always say that he was a computer virus, just hiding out somewhere or something like that. And then but Thanos. I feel like Thanos had to go. I ain't gonna cap with you. My guy had to die. He had to. Like, that's the one that I'm okay with it. But Killmonger, like, bruh, like, I don't want Kang the Conqueror to die in Ant-Man Quantumania. What? I would be so furious if that was just the build up just for that to happen. I would be hella mad. What? Who wants that shit? Not I. Nobody wants that. Like, bro, these are awesome villains that have multiple awesome arcs in comics and stuff like that, bro. So, bro, it just feels like we are at this point where it's about to get extra spicy. We're going from mild to spicy. That's basically it. No, we're going to spicy to extra spicy, because that, yeah. So everybody just got to be ready for it. Don't count the MCU out just yet, because it's gonna be freaking awesome.
My guy Demonic says, I'm not too familiar with the Thunderbolts. Isn't Black Bolt in there? Nah, bro, that's the Inhumans, my boy. It's okay. Um, the the dark the Thunderbolts and or Dark Avengers. I don't know which one they're gonna really become. I hope the Thunderbolts become the Dark Avengers. You know what I mean? I don't hope it's like that would be dope to see their trilogy movie kind of happen. And we're even at that type of point to where we can have like multiple team movies and they all be Avenger level events, like Young Avengers. Crazy, crazy, crazy movie. Oh my god, Avenger level event. Thunderbolts, crazy. Oh my god, Avenger level event. You know what I'm saying? Midnight Suns. Oh my god, crazy Avenger level event. Again and again with all these different heroes in different aspects, bro. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be freaking awesome. And then when they fight each other, it's gonna be even awesomer. And then we're gonna have Civil War Part 2 come, and that's gonna be freaking crazy. It's gonna be crazy. And then hear me out. Hear me out. How would you guys feel about Doctor Doom taking the place of Norman Osborn in the MCU? Since we know there's not an Oscorp and all that type of stuff, how would you guys feel about him kind of being that guy? Like in the comics, let's not forget, Doom does at one time take on that Iron Man armor and looks freaking awesome. So how would you guys feel about him kind of taking on that comic book role of Norman Osborn in the MCU, as well as still being his awesome, amazing Doom self? Like we get introduced to him as like the Norman Osborn level type of a character, and then he slowly becomes smarter and smarter with the mystic arts and everything and all that stuff. And then we see him literally become Doctor Doom. Like, how would you guys feel about that? Like Doom owns the tower. The old Avengers tower. It's not the Baxter building. It's none of that shit. It's Doctor Doom's. Like, how would you feel about that? Unpopular fan says we already have a Norman Osborn. That's Justin Hammer. Justin Hammer is Justin Hammer, my boy. That's how I feel about that. I think Justin Hammer is just Justin Hammer. I don't feel like he's gonna come through like that. I mean, it's very possible because we know we're supposed to get him back in Armor Wars already. So it is very possible that he does have that type of role coming in it. But I know and when he comes back, it's gonna be solid. It's gonna be solid. It could be solid. Dwight says I could ride with that. Give me Doom now. Exactly, bro. Exactly. We need powerful corporations like AIM. I think AIM might still be in the MCU because AIM is Justin Ham. No, that's not Hammer's thing, is it? No, that's the other dude's thing that died. And other villainous organizations, yeah, like the Ten Rings and etc. I definitely agree with you there, Demonic, 100%. We do need all these different organizations for these teams to kind of go after and infiltrate and things like that. And I do understand though with the MCU, they don't want to just have like a reoccurring villain over and over and over and over again, because that will get definitely cartoonish and repetitive. But still, Unpopular Fan says Justin Hammer as Iron Patriot would be fire. I think that would be fire, but Doctor Doom in an Iron Man like suit is even more fire. Like, have you seen Doctor Doom when he's Iron Man? Have you freaking seen what is it called? Superior Iron Man or something like that? Bruh. Bruh, it's freaking ridiculous. No, it's not Superior Iron Man. I lied. I'm sorry. Hell is he called? I don't even know what he's called. It's like infamous. I guess he's infamous Iron Man. Bruh, look at that. Bruh, look at this. Look at this, bruh. Bro. This is peak, my boy. This is peak, my boy. This is peak, my boy. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Look, bruh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Bruh. Look at this. Look at this. Look at Doctor Doom in his Iron Man suit. Look at Doctor Doom as freaking Iron Man with his badass suit that he created that is infused with both magic and technology. Look at Iron Man and all of his freaking Doctor Doomness. Look at Doctor Doom and all of his Iron Manness, bro. You can't tell me that this wouldn't be amazing, that people wouldn't literally shit themselves in the theater if we saw Doom come out like this, bro. After already being introduced to him as just being a regular, as just being like Victor Von Doom, then finding out that he's the crazy sorcerer, and then all of a sudden he takes over Shield and he comes through and he's like this, just floating in the air, just like Doom has arrived, bruh. Oh my god. Oh my god, I would faint. I'm about to faint right now. Bro, I'm telling you. Like, bro. Guys, look at this. Bruh, this is amazing. This is amazing, bro. This is amazing. And this is when Dr. Doom is like, oh yeah, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I'll be a good guy. The world needs an Iron Man. Iron Man's dead at this moment. In the comic books, Iron Man is dead when this happens, mind you. And Dr. Doom is like, hey, bro, I'm gonna be Iron Man then. I'm gonna be Iron Man. Because the world needs an Iron Man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it would be freaking amazing. I'm just saying it would be freaking amazing, bro. That's all. That's all. Demonic said that's hella sick. I agree, bro. I agree completely. It's freaking ridiculous, my guy. It has no idea it has there you know like bro, no reason to be this raw. Like no reason to be this raw. Let's see. Oh. Bow. Yo, I'm just saying we are in an amazing point of phase 4 right now, and it's only gonna get better. All of the building blocks are just now being put together and everything, you know? Exactly. That's exactly my point, unpopular. It could work because we don't know who Val works for yet or Sharon, bro. It has to be Doom. And let's not forget, ladies and gents, that in Ant-Man and the Wasp, my guy with the briefcase is willing to offer $1 billion for the quantum realm technology, bruh. $1 billion in a briefcase. He's just there. He's just there, like, bro, I'm ready to offer you $1 billion. Like, I know the whole $1 billion isn't in the briefcase, but I'm saying he's like there with the briefcase. Like, yo, I'm here ready to, I have a buyer that's willing to drop $1 billion for you to be able to, come into this thing and, have the who would that be? Who would that be? Oh yeah, Doom. It would be Doctor Doom, bro. It would be Doctor Doom trying to do what Doctor Doom does. You dig what I'm saying? Do you dig what I'm saying? And I saw MT on New Rockstars talk about how dope it would be for Doctor Doom to be introduced in Agatha, House of Darkness, and he's basically like trying to get her help to go and find Scarlet Witch type shit. Bro, could you imagine the level of bruh. I gotta calm down because Doctor Doom is like, well, I will pass out over Doctor Doom because he is peak, bro. He is peak, bro. He is peak, bro. Like, Doctor Doom is peak. I can't wait for him to be introduced. I'm excited for Kang the Conqueror, but Doctor Doom is the guy. Like, Doctor Doom is the guy. Like, just as happy as we all are about Black Adam coming out, I am that times a million for Doctor Doom, bro. Because Doctor Doom is just amazing, bro. Like, it's amazing. I can't even begin to explain how amazing Doctor Doom is. But real quick, just so you guys do know, memberships are now active on the channel, and when you become a member, you have access to member only badges like you've seen my boy Demonic put in there, channel emojis. You've seen Demonic put the channel emojis in there, and you see Demonic's badge next to his name, and you get other special perks like private lives that you're able to access with us when we do our trailer watch parties or anything like that, talking about just whatever we might want to talk about. All the love and support from you guys is definitely appreciated. And yeah, you guys rock socks. So I saw uh unpopular fan. He says, "Who do you want to see play Doctor Doom?" You know, I was watching a Den of Nerds live the other day, right? And he had said, "How would you guys feel about Jason Statham being Doctor Doom?" And I was like, "No, yeah, give me that. I think I would want that. I'm not gonna lie. I think Jason Statham has the Doom voice. I think he kind of has that Doom like type of cockiness that Doom has. Doom talks in the third person a lot, so I could definitely see like Jason Statham as that type of guy. Uh, but nobody was really feeling it when he made that comment. So I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know who could be Doom because Doom is one of those guys that he just hits different, man. He hits different. Doctor Doom is not to be played with, and I just don't know who could bring that level of veracity, I guess you could say, to the table consecutively, consistently. And I think Jason Statham could do it, but I don't know. Like I can't even think of anybody else. You know what I mean? Just because Doctor Doom is just one of those characters, bro. Someone with hair, maybe. Yo, I mean, yes, but there's a such thing as wigs and hair plugs and all that type of stuff. And Doctor Doom wears a suit as well. Let's see. Here is an article talking about the 5 best actors that could do it. Viggo Mortensen, who is this dude. Here are some other options for Doctor Doom. Viggo Mortensen, John Hamm. I wouldn't be against that necessarily. Don't know who this guy is. Oh, the Scarecrow from Batman Begins. I don't know. Alexander Skarsgård. Hey, okay, my guy from the Northman goes crazy. Don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else other than the Northman, and I could possibly see that. Nicolaj Coaster Waldo. Don't know who that guy is either. So those are 5 picks from Collider. Out of those 5 picks, this dude, and this dude are kind of the ones that are kind of at the top of my list, but I don't know. Unpopular fan says Giancarlo Esposito is my choice for Doctor Doom. Well, supposedly Giancarlo Esposito is supposed to be taking the place of Professor X in the MCU. How do you guys feel about that? Definitely drop it in the comments and let me know if you how do you feel about Giancarlo Esposito possibly being um, Professor X? I don't really know how I feel about it personally, but I would love to know how you guys feel about it. You know what? Let's put a little poll out and see how you guys might feel about that. Let's see. Let's see. All right. You guys think of Giancarlo Esposito as Professor X? Yo, how do you guys feel about that? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. No, no. Uh, Demonic says, yes, sir, but I'd rather see him as a villain. I love him as a villain. This one is hard. Yeah, I agree. I know some of the first ones, I know some of the first reports were of Giancarlo Esposito be Magneto, because they wanted to go for more of a concurrent thing with like how things are now, because that's why the X-Men are all the X-Men movies are usually based back in the day, because Magneto himself is the uh he went through like Nazi Germany stuff. He went through all of the stuff with the Nazis, bro. So that's why he has such a hard feeling with who, like, what he believes in, is because he saw what the Nazis did to people and how brutal they were. You know what I'm saying? So uh that's why they're thinking that we're gonna see Magneto be more culture to the times, and that's why they want to make him like a black African American person, possibly, because a lot of people say that Professor X and Magneto were based off of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. So because of that thing that people say, they a lot of like what people have been thinking is that that's what the MCU might go with, and to make it more towards the times that were like to make it to where you can still believe Magneto has went through the shit that Magneto has went through without my guy being a 90-year-old dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, just realistically. And I don't know how you might feel about that. You might not feel too happy about it, or you might like it, but I don't know. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Dwight says, WTF are the Fantastic Four going to be doing, yo? I'm hearing reports that they might be introducing Ant-Man Quantum Mania, and they might have been stuck in the quantum realm this whole time, very similar to how Janet Van Dyne was. And that's why we could see an older Doctor Doom possibly take place, and still have a younger Fantastic Four team, because, time just works differently when you're in the quantum realm. So they could have just been there, not aging. And apparently, from other reports as well, Kang is going to be basically trying to take over the quantum realm via that city that we saw in the first Ant-Man movie. So, or was that the second Ant-Man movie? I think actually. Uh, so yeah, that is that. So yeah, I don't know how. I don't know. I feel like I like that. I feel like I don't like it at the same time, because the Fantastic Four are amazing, and I would. Ooh, excuse me. Don't get me wrong. I think it would be awesome, because that could be the way that they get their powers for being in there for like, how long would that be if they'd been in there since like the 50s? You feel me? Like, I don't know. I don't want to say the 50s, but if they've been in there for dumbass long, 30 years plus, it would be freaking amazing to be. I mean, that would be the way that they would definitely get their powers. Parker Rap says, I think he plays a better villain. He plays better as a villain. Magneto would be perfect for him. I do agree with that. I think Magneto would be a way better fit for Giancarlo rather than Professor X, because I just don't see him in that inspirational role. I know that sounds bad, but he doesn't have that type of inspiring like role. He has a menacing type of role. But I mean, I could see them doing something different, I guess. Uh but if Giancarlo was to play Magneto, who would you guys want to play Professor X? Uh do, 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 do. Magneto is Are we ever getting Nova, yo? So I wouldn't be surprised if Nova is something that gets talked about at San Diego Comic-Con, because I know they're saving all the big announcements for D23, that when they're doing that, we already have that you know what I mean? We already know that that's what's happening when it comes to not Nova, but Marvel. We know that the San Diego Comic-Con Hall H uh thing that they're going to be doing is not going to have all of like the next phases and all that type of stuff. It's just going to be like a couple of things to wet our whistle and hold us over, and then the next big time we get everything will be at San Diego Comic-Con, and I believe that's in November or September. It's one of those months, I can't really recall, but that's when I think that it wouldn't be surprising to get like a Nova announcement right now, and possibly get a couple other things like that. A couple a couple smaller announcemements that are still big and still awesome, but save those huge, insane, freaking announcements for D23 when Marvel has their own thing going on. You feel me? Parker says wouldn't mind the younger actor who played him to come back. Yeah, I hear a lot of people actually say that they wouldn't mind the entire cast from the original Fantastic Four to come back because uh they weren't terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't terrible, but they weren't, you know, uh they weren't good. The writing is what made those really bad though. Parker says Giancarlo as Magneto and Bryan Cranston as Professor X. Let's bring all the Breaking Bad boys back. Hey, that actually might be lit as hell. I actually might really be for that. I'm not gonna lie, because bruh does have that type of look. He does have that type of look. Um, But yeah, when it comes to like the Fantastic Four, though, we have announcements that my guy Steve from Stranger Things, what is bruh's name? His real name. Wow, damn, they didn't get my guy. Joe Keery, my guy Joe Keery, who is Steve Harrington in Stranger Things. He is supposedly going to be taking on the role of Flame On. That's right. My boy Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. That is supposedly who's supposed to be playing him. How do you guys feel about that? I can't recall all the other members, the actors for all the other members either at this moment. But I do know that for a fact that that's who they're looking at. I don't think he's necessarily been cast already, but my guy Steve from Stranger Things is in is the one. I think it's a good. I think that personally. I think it's a good call. Me personally, I wouldn't let that slide. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's end the poll. See what you guys think. 50%. Wait, where it go? 50% say yes. 33% say no. 16% say meh. So, some people are with it. Some people are not with it. So we'll have to see. Where do you think we go from the Eternals movie? Like, do you think it's going to be Eternals 2 type thing? Like, do they get a trilogy? Hmm. Damn, that's a good question, bro. Uh, you know what, Dwight? I think we do get a trilogy. I wouldn't be surprised of it. I think if we get a trilogy for Eternals, it would help give us that backstory that we need when it comes to the X-Men, if you know what I'm saying. But to be fair, I already did make the notion that the X-Men and Inhumans will be like one in the same in the MCU. So like as to where the Kree created the Inhumans, we might see something different to where the Kree create the X-Men. You know what I mean? Like our mutants, I should say, instead of like the regular Eternals celestial backstory that we do have. And then with especially with the ending that we got from Eternals 1 with Big Daddy kidnapping everyone and like teleporting out of there, and then my guy Thanos' brother coming through at the end of that movie. You know what I'm saying, son? So I definitely think that that calls for a Eternals 2. because like we got to save the other Eternals, and then we got to save. You know what I'm saying? Demonic said Kree created Eternals, bro. What? Where did that come from? In the comics, yes, Kree created Inhumans. Yes. The Kree did create the Inhumans via the Terrigen Mist. I would suggest going and watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is pretty solid. I know some people really don't like that show, but that show definitely is a pretty solid show. If you want a solid Inhuman storyline, that's where you're gonna find it. I don't think we're gonna see too much. Well, supposedly we're supposed to get Black Bolt and the Inhumans in the Marvels movie. So I don't know. But hey, what I will say, what I do know is that you guys should join the Discord for sure, because the Discord, we have conversations like this. My conversation with Demonic is actually what sparked the idea for this video in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys join our Discord so you can stay up to date with all of the discussions that we have, all of the conversations, because we always talk about awesome stuff like this. And you'll give me some video ideas for what we could talk about on the channel for me and Bat, you know, if he's back or if he's here at that time or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So you guys have definitely been freaking awesome sauce. If you haven't already, make sure you also check out our website at www.marvelbros.com so you can buy our merch and do all of that good stuff, and you know, just show all your love and support every single way that you think you can, if you can. I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me, chilling with me, talking with me. We're definitely gonna have to do an MCU explained again and go a little bit deeper and dive deeper. What would you guys think about this being like a little series or something, or a couple of videos or lives that happen a lot, you know, with just so we can just kind of dive deeper with the questions that you might have from all the different movies and shows that we're going to be getting, especially with like She-Hulk and all of this stuff. You know, we're going to be getting a lot more news and things thrown at our faces that we're going to have to be able to, you know, kind of understand, and it might be hard, but that's what we'll be here for at Marvel Bros, aka us, aka awesomeness. We appreciate all of the super fam. You guys rock freaking socks. Tune in with me for the next 3 days when I will be covering San Diego Comic-Con, talking about what's going on there, watching all the different things that are dropping, checking out the different trailers for things and such and whatnot, and all that good stuff, yo. You guys really do rock awesome socks, man. And I will see you guys on the next video. Excelsior.
To support Marvel Bros, all you gotta do is visit our website at www.marvelbros.com and buy some merch. Represent the superfan.
Or you can join our Patreon to get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Q&As, and those sacred watch parties.
We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Excelsior.
On today's pop culture news update.
And on today's pop culture news update,
On